Away we go. Wave goodbye to Al Pacino. Wave goodbye to everyone on your left-hand side. You'll probably never see them again. Because guess what? We're taking you deep inside the heart of the studio where some of Hollywood's biggest names come to work every single day. This tour's so big, I of course can't do it alone. I got Titus over here. I also have my very special co-host. You know him from The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Guess who?
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide,
Corey.
and the greatest driver,
Titus.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Corey
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, Jimmy. First, if you need any assistance during the tour or have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value off the side of the tram or you're having sound or video issues, reach up, grab the red cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please stay seated. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Remember to use the red cord above your head if you need any assistance. Please no smoking of any kind during the tour, and be prepared because our tour today features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and many water effects. If you guys are sitting in a blue seat, you might get wet. You're all in a blue seat, guys. That's how that one works. And you want to have your cameras out for great photo opportunities, but please keep an eye on them so they don't get wet or damaged. And finally, for your safety and for those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you are on board. Woo! Now that that's out of the way, let's have some fun. What do you say? We're going down what we call our movie timeline. These are our biggest and best hits over our 103 years of movie making. You're going to see a guy on your screens here. This is Carl Lumley. He's the gentleman in the bow tie there. He is our founder. He started Universal Pictures in New York City back in 1912. So many, many years ago. In 1914, he bought about 200 acres of property that we have here. And now we are almost 400 acres of property. We are our own city, guys. We're not just Universal Studios. We are our own city. We have everything a real city has, our own branch of the LAPD police force, our own DMV, our own post office, even our own fire station, Fire Station 51. There it is off to your right-hand side. That is inspired by the TV show from the 70s, Emergency. It's a Dick Wolf production back in the 70s. We also used it in Backdraft in the 1990s, and Fire Station 51 is even featured currently on Chicago Fire, one of our NBC Chicago trilogy shows. Now, we like to keep it in the family. We really, again, have everything. We have our own zip code, guys. If you guys put in Universal Studios, you saw we were Universal City. We have our own zip code. The only thing we don't have are residents. People don't live here. They just come to work here. So instead of, apartments and houses and things like that, we have giant warehouse-type buildings like the one off to the left-hand side. That is Soundstage 12. Soundstage 12, one of our 28 sound stages on our property. It is the largest soundstage we have on our property at about 30,000 square feet, and that is where NBC's hit singing competition, The Voice, films. You guys see The Voice? You're watching the battle rounds, whatever it is. All of that is done inside of that soundstage right back there, even the live rounds, right? Now it is, again, one of the largest sound stages in the world, the largest on our property. So some of the biggest and most memorable movies have filmed in there over the years. Here's a few examples, guys. And what you're looking at on your screens here, it's an outdoor pool party? No, it's not. It was inside of that soundstage right back there. This is a great example of how we have complete control over our environment inside of a space like this. Yeah, you're seeing more sound stages off to your left-hand side. Some of the giant doors, called elephant doors, are open. You can see some of the sets that they're working on in there right now. But these sound stages are about 98% soundproof. You can see what they look like without any set inside. There it is on your screens, guys. Just a giant blank warehouse. Again, complete control over our environment. We can film daytime scenes at night, nighttime scenes during the day. We can make it rain and snow inside of these sound stages. Off to your left-hand side, you're going to be seeing Stage 21, one of our oldest standing sound stages over here. Stage 21 is where they're filming a show called Superstore, starring America Ferrera, Ben Feldman, I mentioned it earlier. They are on hiatus. Off to your right-hand side, they're filming Family Feud. with Steve Harvey, Family Feud. It is not an NBC production, right? It started on ABC years ago. It's on KCAL now. But we do film it here on our property. Stage 21, though, a lot of productions have filmed in there, and I want to give you a few examples here on your screens. Colony, it's a USA show, stars Josh Holloway from ABC's Lost. We also have, as I mentioned, Superstore.
I know it's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all act.
If your face stays where it is, it's gonna get punched.
Now, as we make our way down this lane here, off to the right-hand side, some of our smaller sound stages. These sound stages have been home to countless television shows over the years, like The Desperate Housewives, Parenthood. Let's see, we also have shows like Coach, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and a brand new show that I mentioned earlier, The Good Place, films right out here. The Good Place stars Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. They film in stage 44. It is a highly used sound stage, one of the most used sound stages we have on our property. And another show, another TV show, also recently filmed inside of stage 44. Here it is on your screens.
Whose name is worth more
Hollywood
in
Game Night.
Scrabble tiles? Uzo Aduba or David Oyelowo? Uzo Aduba.
It is hosted by the one and only Jane Lynch. They still currently film on our property here. Now, we don't just have sound stages on our front lot. We also have some offices, production bungalows, like you're seeing off to your left-hand side. Take a look, guys. These bungalows are for our on-lot producers that are getting scripts ready for production. They started out as dressing rooms for some of Hollywood's biggest names. Actors like Doris Day, Rock Hudson, Lucille Ball, Jimmy Stewart, even Ronald Reagan called these bungalows a home away from home. They were contract players with Universal. And that means that they signed a multi-year contract with Universal. They filmed back-to-back-to-back movies with us for years at a time. That's really how Hollywood actors got their start. And now they belong to production companies and major directors, filmmakers. People like Robert Zemeckis comes to work here every single day. He's the man who brought you Forrest Gump, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and of course Back to the Future. We also have Mark Platt Productions out here, the guy who brought you La La Land a few years ago, and of course produces Wicked on Broadway. And off to your left-hand side, that bungalow, 5195, belonged to Alfred Hitchcock in the 1960s, the master of suspense, known for movies like Psycho, The Birds, Rear Window, my personal favorite, Vertigo, one of the best movies ever made. And that was his office up until his death in 1980. Now, we do have brand new high-tech state-of-the-art sound stages, just like you're seeing off to your left-hand side. And these sound stages here have been used countless times over the almost year and a half that they've been around. They were finished at the end of 2016. They've been used for productions like Will and Grace. You guys watch the new seasons of Will and Grace? They film inside of these sound stages. Law and Order, True Crime, The Menendez Murders, America's Got Talent, World of Dance, all these shows film in here. But the very first production to be seen inside of these sound stages off to your left-hand side is here on your screens. Hairspray Live, guys. Hairspray Live. It's a great example of how we use our sound stages to create and film our interior sets, our interior productions and scenes. However, we utilize our backlot, right? Our Metro sets to create the exterior sets, and you're seeing these exterior sets on your screens as well. Welcome to our Metro sets. They're designed to be able to look like any metropolitan area in the world. You name it, we can make this area look like it with a few small changes. Off to your right-hand side, one of the most filmed-on locations on our property, Brownstone Street. You might actually recognize this as where Bruce lived in Bruce Almighty.
Grace, the dog!
I'm in the shower!
Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good.
Oh, you're done now. Great. B-E-A-U. Now from one of the most filmed-on locations to one of the most recognizable locations. Welcome, my friends, to Courthouse Square. But off to the left-hand side, you might recognize this better as Hill Valley from Back to the Future. So as you see, countless productions have actually filmed over here. However, what you're seeing on your screens looks different than the actual set off to your left-hand side, because that clock tower from Back to the Future became so recognizable that they had to change the entire front and side of the building so other productions could use it. Nobody wanted to film out there because it looked so much like Hill Valley. But now, guys, we've left the small town of Hill Valley and we've rounded the corner here. Welcome to the Big Apple. This is our New York streets. We have everything from Broadway theater houses, even a replica of Macy's. So it's like we've taken 34th Street, New York City, put it right here in Southern California on our back lot. And of course, Jimmy Fallon, my co-host, he films in New York. He has a few words for you guys. Take it away, Jimmy.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Now, countless productions have filmed out here, guys, that's for sure. Some recent productions, like American Ninja Warrior, if you guys watch that show, they set up the obstacle course right here on our New York street, and they have those contestants run that obstacle course right here. It looks like it's a city in the background, but it's actually our New York street. And the way they do that is they actually film in the middle of the night. Those guys are running that obstacle course at like 2 and 3 in the morning. It's insane. We also filmed Fate of the Furious, the 8th installment of the Fast and Furious franchise, out here a little bit. A lot of other big productions like The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone filmed down here. Transformers, directed by Michael Bay, turned New York Street into downtown Los Angeles. Right? Rather than blowing up some of downtown LA, you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to come up here, you're going to have control over your environment, it's going to be quieter, you're going to add some cars in the background, some explosions, pyrotechnics, whatever you need to create the environment that you're trying to go for your production. We also filmed Captain America: The First Avenger with Chris Evans. Steve Rogers has just been transformed into the super soldier. He's running down the street barefoot chasing after that Nazi/Hydra spy. Yeah, that was this street right here. The way we do that is, first of all, we can completely change the lights on this street. We have these square panels on the sidewalk. We plug in any kind of street light, 1940s, 1950s, 60s, whatever, even contemporary. We've changed the time period on this street. We turn this into, 1700s London for Bram Stoker's Dracula. You bring some dirt out here, horse-drawn carriages, people walking around in the proper wardrobe, and all of a sudden you believe that it's that time period. So we can change the time period pretty easily. But every building looks different from the next. So you get one building in the frame of the camera, you pick up the camera, you turn it just a little bit, you get another building into that frame. It looks like an entirely different part of the city. The area we're in right now was actually used as Chicago in the Blues Brothers back in 1980. Take a look at this.
When the Pinto fell and you saw it land and make this big hole in the street, that was on the back lot. We dropped it from a crane. You dig like that in Chicago, not a good idea.
When people ask me of all of the movies I've ever done, what was the most satisfying, the most fun, I've got to say Blues Brothers. We got to sing, we got to dance, got to drive and train with the best stunt people in the world, and got to be an actor at the end. So it was a good piece of work.
Danny called John America's Guest because just you walk in anybody's house.
During the shooting of the movie, John was missing, we couldn't find him.
Danny went off looking for him. We saw a light on in this one house and knocked on the door.
I said, sir, we're doing a movie down here, we're looking for one of our actors. Oh, John, yeah, he's on my couch. He came in, he had a snack a couple hours ago, he's sleeping. He was America's Guest. I mean, literally that happened.
We have worked with countless filmmakers over the years. I've introduced a few of them to you, but I do want to take a moment to talk about another Academy Award-winning filmmaker. His name is Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. Action! I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up into adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. Now, come on, places. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island. The Universal tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife of Skull Island.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your belongings and your loved ones. The road ahead is going to be a little bumpy. We're going back to Skull Island. Let's stay seated. Here we go.
Glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
Oh, there's a turtle!
Yeah, that was great.
Well, that was King Kong 360 3D, and that was brought to you by Peter Jackson and the incredible team over at Weta Digital. Weta Digital is the now 6-time Academy Award-winning company that did special effects for movies like Avatar, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The War for the Planet of the Apes, and The Jungle Book in 2016. And that was also put on the second largest digital 3D screen in the world. That 3D screen is over 40 feet tall and 180 feet long.
The tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming at them. They're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side. Working on a movie, we always know where people are looking straight ahead. They're looking at the shot that we're working on. Here, you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the tram is from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away. We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting it to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
That it is, guys. That it is. Now, speaking of rides, anytime a car or a vehicle appears in a movie or television show, we have a name for them. We call them picture cars. And sometimes these picture cars will go on to become even more famous than the actors who drove them. Up ahead, we have some beautiful Universal picture cars for you guys, so get those cameras out. They'll be off to your left-hand side. However, I want to show you a few more Universal picture cars right here on your screens. Take a look.
Look out!
First up here, Kit from the 2008 TV reboot of Knight Rider, followed by Magnum's Ferrari, and Biff's Ford convertible from Back to the Future. Now, that convertible had all that manure dumped in it Back to the Future, as you might recall. They used wet horse feed, not real manure, guys, don't worry. Alright? Some of our futuristic cars from Back to the Future Part 2. Those are flying cars in the movie. However, it's, 2018. That took place in 2015. Means that all of Back to the Future is officially in the past. Sad, right? Now, we can't talk about picture cars without talking about Fast and Furious. It's one of Universal's most successful franchises. Furious 7 came out in 2015. It's now the 6th highest grossing movie worldwide of all time. So successful, we greenlit 3 more Fast and Furious movies from that one film. So the 8th installment, Fate of the Furious, came out last year. We also have Fast and Furious 9 and Fast and Furious 10 in the works right now. Another movie came out in 2015, even more successful, Jurassic World. And Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom comes out on June 22nd, so just a few weeks from now. It's the follow-up to the hugely successful Jurassic World in 2015. Now, in just a minute, the vehicles and props and set pieces we're passing, they were featured in Jurassic World and Jurassic Park, one of our most successful franchises. It also featured a rather funny cameo by a pretty famous musician. Take a look. Yep, that's right, guys. That's Jimmy Buffett trying to keep those margaritas from spilling while hordes of dinosaurs attack his restaurant. Universal City Walk now has its own Margaritaville, which you guys can experience later tonight. But don't worry, dinosaurs rarely attack it anymore. Probably because they're too busy attacking our tram. Hopefully we won't be one of those trams, guys. We'll just keep our eyes out here for a minute. Take a look at the mobile lab off to your left-hand side from The Lost World. It's made out of wood, painted to look like metal. Uh-oh. This doesn't look good. Those dinosaurs you just saw back there, they are a kind of effect called an animatronic. An animatronic is a practical effect. What that means is that it's real. You can actually physically touch it. A practical effect is a real effect. It's the opposite of CGI, computer-generated images, kind of like we saw with King Kong 360 3D just a few minutes ago. In 1993, Jurassic Park came out. It's one of the very first movies to use a combination of both of those styles of special effects. It holds up today. It looks absolutely amazing. The very first time you ever see that T-Rex. It's about to terrorize those 2 vehicles. It's pouring rain out. It rears its head over the fence. It's a 25-foot tall animatronic. Kept breaking down in the rain effects. They'd have to stop filming, clean it out, dry it off, and then resume filming as soon as it was ready to go. As soon as it steps over that fence, it's a CGI T-Rex. Unbelievable, guys. Now, another kind of effect is heavily used in the Jurassic Park franchise, and I just mentioned it, the rain, the extreme weather. All of those effects have to be created and manipulated for our productions. Guess what? We're going to do that for you guys right now. Welcome. So, I do have a good friend up here, Jake. He's up in the booth. He's gone ahead and started these high-powered strobe lights to create the lightning effect. And he's going to go ahead and do the thunder effects with the speakers here. But really the most important effect is the rain. Cue the rain, Jake. Thank you, sir. Now what we're looking at here is, a little heavy rain, extreme weather. The way we do this is we use a very high-tech device we use here in Hollywood called a sprinkler. We shoot the water straight up into the air. We let it fall back down to the earth naturally, guys. We let gravity do the work. The rain we're looking at is actually heavier than real rain. It's about 3 times the size of real rain, the raindrop specifically, because real rain is too unpredictable, too unreliable, and more often than not, the camera can't see it. It won't be picked up by the camera. So our fake rain has to be even heavier so the cameras can actually see it. And sometimes you get a little too much rain, guys. Flood is brought to you by thousands of gallons of recycled water that's released from a giant tank at the top of the hill there. That effect was seen in Big Fat Liar, starring Paul Giamatti and Frankie Muniz. You can see it on your screens.
You can't outrun the wont, kid!
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Funny poster!
And there you have it. Now the area we were just in is called Old Mexico. It's been seen in The Three Amigos starring Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, Martin Short, used in Nacho Libre starring Jack Black, turned into Peru for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and it was recently used in season 1 of HBO series Westworld. It's a great show. Put the kids to bed and watch Westworld. It's not for the kids. Now we have left Old Mexico behind, and we are now in the Old West. Yeah, speaking of the West, welcome, guys. Denver Street in 6 Points, Texas. Some of our oldest filming locations on our property here. What you're looking at off to the left-hand side, that is 6 Points, Texas, and that has been around since the silent film era. We were able to film around 200 silent Western movies a year utilizing our Western sets. Right? Some of the biggest and best Western stars in history have filmed out here over the years, and you can't have a big Western movie without a few Western brawls, right guys? Take a look at this.
You're just gonna stir things up here. That I am.
Hit the ground first.
We're looking at two of the most iconic Western stars, Kirk Douglas and John Wayne. John Wayne is about 6'4", Kirk Douglas 5'9". How do they look the same height? Because Kirk Douglas in the yellow is standing on a box. At the end of the scene, you're going to see John Wayne walk out of the frame of the camera, but Kirk Douglas can't, or else the illusion would be destroyed.
Mine was taller.
Now guys, this is about halfway on our tour, so I just want to remind everyone to stay seated during the entire tour. The studio is private property, and if you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the red cord to get my attention, and I'll be back to assist you. But do remain seated, please. Now we have left our Old West sets, and we are now in Europe. Welcome to Little Europe. Made to look like anywhere in Europe we want it to be simply by changing the language of the signs and adding some specific set decoration. But right now, this is for The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell, and here's what it looks like right on your screens.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Okay, well, maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Doesn't sound awesome.
All right, guys, I'm going to get off mic here. They're filming Home and Family up ahead.
Oh, they're filming right now. That's awesome. I wonder where. Left or right?
They were filming Hallmark's Home and Family in that little suburban house right back there. So I had to get off mic, as I mentioned earlier. But now we are inside of a hot set, so please remain seated in here. This is another working sound stage made to look like a San Francisco. Okay, guys, everyone stay calm. It's just a little out here. Nothing to worry about. All right, I think I spoke too soon. I think if I can a little tremor, can you guys do me a favor and just stay cool, calm, and collected? While I panic. Guys, the propane truck back there. The roof is on fire! This isn't good. We're gonna be okay as long as the subway doesn't come on the other track, right, guys? I don't think it's gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. Look out! Oh boy, that was close. Is everybody? Okay, that's not good. Alright guys, we made it. That's Earthquake, the big one. Give yourself a round of applause. That is what we call a mechanical effect. Mechanical effects like that have been used in disaster movies for decades, going back to the 1970s. That effect was also seen on Fox's show Bones. It starred David Boreanaz and Emily Deschanel. Came to its conclusion about a year ago. But you use that practical mechanical effect, you add some CGI, computer-generated images, and this is what you get. What's going on? We've, had a few close calls already. We've survived an earthquake, a flash flood, a couple dinosaur attacks. Time for a nice beach vacation. We're going to go to Amity, a small New England beach town. But that shark that you're thinking of, the great white man-eating, that's hanging right back there. He was caught. So no worries, guys. Please stay seated while we're by the water here. It is real water. Now, my buddy George should be out here with the Amity police doing a final sweep of the... What are you guys pointing at? Okay, that's a really big fin. I think the shark is still out there, guys. And so is my friend George. George, swim for the boat, George. Swim for the boat. Okay, you're going to fight the shark. Nice. Guys, you know what? Let me tell you, it takes a lot of guts to be out there. Yeah, that's a lot of guts. Okay, I think we're going to save ourselves. We're going to pull forward here, take a little shelter behind these flammable barrels. There's a little yellow barrel out there with shark bait, so maybe the shark will take the bait and leave us alone. Okay. That is gasoline. Wave goodbye to Bruce the shark, guys. Now, can anyone tell me what kind of shark that is? Great white. No, I'm sorry, that's a plastic shark. But that's Bruce. Bruce is just a representative of the plastic mechanical shark that was used in Steven Spielberg's Jaws. People think that the shark is named Jaws. No, that's just the name of the movie. Bruce is named after Steven Spielberg's attorney. Yeah, and he is the only shark that can do the backstroke. You can see him doing that right now. Now, the real Bruce was tested in freshwater here on our property. Stage 21, I showed you guys earlier. They actually tested him in freshwater inside of that soundstage. However, they filmed on location in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. The ocean is made up of salt water. So on the very first day of filming, Bruce had a temper tantrum, sank to the bottom of the ocean. Day one. Delayed production for over 100 days. Steven Spielberg was given 55 days to film Jaws. 55 days? He went 159 days. holiday film. Came out in the summer. Instead, everyone lines up around the block to see Jaws, making it the very first summer blockbuster. And now because of the success of Jaws, all of our big action blockbusters come out in the summer. Here's Steven Spielberg to tell you a little bit more about this experience.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, "The shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working."
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited.
The shark worked well enough for a while there in the music all the time. So I really owe the shark a lot.
Well, we are very happy that he survived that shark attack, guys. Now we're going to change it up a little bit, take you to one of the most talked about streets in all of Hollywood. Welcome to Colonial Street. And I bet you guys are going to recognize this better as Wisteria Lane from the Desperate Housewives. Off to your left-hand side, and that's kind of beige and white house. That was Gabrielle Solis's house on the show, played by Eva Longoria. And we have Bob and Lee's house off to the left-hand side, the kind of lavender house there. The stone and yellow house, that was Susan Delfino's house on the show. These houses look a little bit different than they did on The Desperate Housewives. They've been changed for other productions. And of course, Lynette Scavo lived in the house to your left-hand side, played by Emmy Award winner Felicity Huffman. Now this street's been around for many, many, many years, so have these houses. However, after the success of the first season of Desperate Housewives, they wanted to add a few characters, add some houses for production. It's exactly what they did. The house that we're passing by at the end of the street here is what we call a practical set. There it is, off to the right-hand side. That is a practical set, meaning you can film inside, outside, upstairs, downstairs. It adds quite a bit of flexibility for the filmmakers. It is built at a 3/4 quarter scale, and that means that when they're filming at the other end of the street and they get that house into the frame of the shot there, it looks further away. It's a form of forced perspective. It looks further away because it's slightly smaller than a real house should be. Most of the houses on the street are just shells of houses, though. You don't do any interior filming out here. Lynette Scavo's house to the right-hand side has a tree growing out the side of it. You see that tree there? Here's what this street looked like on The Desperate Housewives. Take a look. That is also where the Munsters films. 1313 Mockingbird Lane was right out there. That was Bob and Lee's lavender house that I pointed out. Also The Burbs with Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher filmed out there. Casper the Friendly Ghost. Smash Mouth filmed their all-star music video out there. Painted one of those houses, all sorts of bright colors. We are kind of heading up through a wooded area, heavily wooded area. This is unique to our property. We can do a lot of camping scenes and things like that out here. You can pretty much utilize our property in any way you see fit. You just change it up to the needs of your production once again. Now, we were driving through kind of a classic suburban neighborhood, but sometimes the worlds we create require a little more imagination to bring to life, and that is exactly the case with our next stop, guys. We are taking you to Whoville from Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
You're as cuddly as a cactus, and as charming as an eel.
One of the largest productions ever done here at Universal. It took up 11 of our 28 sound stages and a huge chunk of our back lot. They used enough fake snow to cover 9 American football fields and around 2,000 candy canes for decoration. The people of Whoville had to deal with not only their Grinch, but their other neighbor on our property. He was a real psycho, guys. Yeah. It's because he was Norman Bates from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Welcome to the Bates Motel. 12 rooms, 12 vacancies. Anybody need a shower? No? No takers? Probably for the best, guys. Now, these are some of the most historic sets still out here on our back lot. So the base motel, but up on the hill here around the corner, we have the original Psycho house from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are taking you to one of the most colossal sets ever built in movie history. This plane crash site is from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. Came out in 2005, starring Tom Cruise, Dakota Fanning, and Tim Robbins. And it is a real 747 that was destroyed specifically for the making of the film.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Got them closed?
Mommy.
Robbie, get in. Get in.
There you have it, guys. Now, they set up this set for about a month. They spent about a month building it. They filmed on it for almost a week for a total of 4 minutes of screen time. That's it. You just saw 2 minutes of the 4 minutes and made it into the movie. Now, we are changing it up a little bit. We are about to wrap up the tour in about 10 minutes from now. So, we'll be returning to the theme park shortly. Remember to pull the emergency cord if you need any assistance and remain seated at all times. This giant, well, the blue wall back there we'll talk about in a second, but this cabin off to your right-hand side is pretty recognizable from some productions. Desperate Housewives, Shooter with Mark Wahlberg, and The Great Outdoors with John Candy. There it is. Now that blue wall back there is one of the largest freestanding backdrops in the world. You use green screen, blue screen technology. It's the same thing. You fill the basin in front of it with water, with sand, whatever you need. You put the actors in front of it, and in post-production, using CGI, you digitally insert any background onto that blue wall back there. Countless productions have filmed here, but a great example is Sully, directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Tom Hanks.
Evacuate.
So what we're looking at here, the plane, the water, and the people are real. The skyline of New York in the background, it's that blue wall. Right back there. They filmed this a couple years ago out here, so it's just a great example. Dunkirk, the recent Christopher Nolan film that won a few Academy Awards, they filmed out here as well. Right? One of my favorite examples is Hunger Games Catching Fire. Katniss Everdeen, played by Jennifer Lawrence, is being lifted up into the Quarter Quell Hunger Games in a glass tube elevator. She appears on a rock in the middle of a lake with a kind of a rainforest wooded area behind her. Well, she's actually standing right over there in front of that blue wall in that entire sequence. Pretty cool, guys. Now, a few minutes ago, we got word that they are actually taking us off route for just a few moments. Apparently, there's a witness on board who saw something they shouldn't. Owen Shaw and the Syndicate are after us, so we're going to pull into Sullivan Truck Repair. Not really sure what to make of this situation, but somebody should be in here to let us know what to expect. Alright, well this is pretty cool. There's some kind of a monster truck back there in an assault vehicle. That's kind of intense. Alright, you hear music? I hear music. I think there's a party maybe in here. It'd be kind of cool if we got an invite, but see if there's someone that could meet us. Hello? Anybody there?
Hey, yo! They just got here. All right, I got it. Well, listen, hello, beautiful people, particularly you right there missing the third row. How you doing? You good? My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you from Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot. We're having a few friends over. It's a little messy, but it's all good. The more the merrier. Especially you right there in that third row, like I was saying. So I call you board. So look, see over there? It's Hobbs' urban assault vehicle. Best truck the U.S. government can buy. But that work of art back over there was made by my man Tej. Think of it as like a Mona Lisa on wheels. Extra fly.
So did you break it down to them?
What's that?
You had one job to do, Roman, one. All right, look, guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
So like I was saying, the third row right here is in coming.
All right, guys, looks like we're joining the party here. Let's try to blend in a little bit. Okay, might be harder than I thought.
Everybody out! This is the FBI! Turn that music off!
This is what we doing. This is the race day after party. And where the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Damn.
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. We got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours.
Escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family protects you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate.
Shaw traced us. Hobbs can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
All right, guys, looks like they're taking us to our final hiding spot while Tom and the crew sort things out. Do me a favor, put on those 3D glasses. They double as protective eyewear. I already hear a little gunfire in here, so we're just going to lie low and hope that Shaw and the syndicate don't find us. Good luck to you guys.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, now the truck out.
I got the bull by the horn!
Now we're moving.
Don't think you're getting away! Come in the clouds!
Way to go, baby.
Drone's lining up the missile shot!
not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got this. Roman, don't shoot! That's on the bridge! Under construction! Everybody hold on! He's electric!
Ladies and gentlemen, you just experienced one of the most outrageous car chases ever done and the world's largest digital 3D experience, Fast and Furious Supercharged.
Hell of a job, everybody. You protected the witness and you can resume breathing.
You know it's crazy out there. You guys ride hard. Respect.
You know, my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it. They say the deeper the family, the stronger it is. You guys did good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now rolling toward the end of our tour today. So on behalf of Titus, myself, and everyone here at NBC Universal, we hope you enjoyed your exclusive behind-the-scenes Hollywood access. An inside tip for you to get the most out of today's visit with us: download the official Universal Studios Hollywood app to check out wait times, show times, and get up-to-the-minute park information. For example, check out showtimes for Waterworld, a Live Sea War Spectacular. It's an incredible stunt show. Features some of the best stunt people in the industry. And it's our #1 rated show here, so check that one out. Also confirmed that the park closes today at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. So you guys still have plenty of time to do whatever it is that you want to do. At the end of the tour, I'm going to be off to the left-hand side, waving goodbye to you guys. So, you know, if you want a high five, you want a selfie, you need moral support, you have any questions specifically, I'm here for you. Come talk to me. Hope you guys had a great time. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining me today at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. Please watch your step as you exit the tram and have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. That's a wrap.
Time to rock and roll. Bring the noise.
We're on here. Alright guys, so this is the Blues Riff and B. Watch me for the changes and try to keep